Aggressive underage drinking stings. It sounds like a great idea. But what if those stings are creating problems that might not otherwise exist and threatening small businesses in the process? Fox 13's I-Team reporter Ernie Freeman reports on a law enforcement effort with the best of intentions and potentially the worst of results.
The machines display the customer's age, tells the restaurant if the ID is valid and when the ID expires. Some local businesses that sell alcohol might feel they've been targeted by law enforcement with these monthly stings, and they might have a point. The I-Team has uncovered information that shows local alcohol regulators are on track to more than double their revenues from fees and fines this year. In 2008, Philip Blackson opened Skimo's restaurant on Houston Levee Road in unincorporated Shelby County. And from the beginning, he made it clear underage drinking would not be tolerated.
Early on when we opened up, we had minors coming in here and trying to use fake IDs and stuff. And we had employees that helped us and said, hey, they're minors. They don't need to be here. We ran them out. Word got out. You can't go to Skimo's and get alcohol if you're a minor because they're going to bust you or they're going to run you out or they're going to call the police.
But in November of last year, when a new employee failed to check the ID of a customer who looked much older than 21, Skimo's reputation would take a hit. The customer was part of a sting operation conducted by the Shelby County Sheriff's DUI squad. The sting would ultimately cost Blackson $2,250 in fine. Those fines from the Shelby County Beer Board and the state ABC board. Despite Skimo's having only failed one sting in 5 years, the Sheriff's Department kept the restaurant on its radar after November.
They didn't come in December. That's actually when I went in front of the beer board. But in January, they came back and did a sting. We passed. February, they came back. We did another sting, and we passed. March, they come back. Now, this is every 3 weeks they're coming now, and I'm starting to feel, okay, wait a minute. Am I getting, penalized because we made a mistake in November of 2012, or is this the way that's going to continue from this point forward?
The March sting produced another citation when another new employee reportedly failed to check the ID of another older-looking customer. Blackson says it was an honest mistake that could cost him more than the $2,200 he paid for the November bust.
That's a payroll, basically. And this is going to be another payroll. So basically, as an owner, you just don't pay yourself.
All the sudden attention got Blackson wondering if he had been targeted by the Sheriff's Department. More on that in a second. But in the meantime, Blackson contacted the I-Team, and we found something interesting on the rules for checking ID of people ordering drinks in local restaurants. Under state law, restaurants that serve alcohol don't have to check for ID if the person appears to be 35 years old or older. But get this, in Shelby County, those state rules don't apply.
They got to follow our rules if they hold a permit from us, and our rules say you confirm the age of anybody to make sure they're not under 21. So I guess you could say we're more stringent and we don't have the 35. But our rules say confirm everybody.
Gray says in unincorporated Shelby County, even if the customer looks 70 years old, the establishment must check their ID before serving them a beer. As for Blackson's concern about whether the Sheriff's Department had singled his business out for those monthly stings, Gray says he has no knowledge of that. But the I-Team did uncover some evidence that the Sheriff's Department is having more success with those stings. Records we obtained showed the beer board assessed fines totaling $11,900 for all of 2012. And over the first 3 months of this year, the beer board has already assessed businesses fines totaling $6,050. And at that rate, the fines for this entire year will be more than $24,000, more than double last year's fine totals. To make sure he's not adding to those totals, Blackson recently spent another $1,000 on these driver's license scanning machines. The machines display the customer's age, tells the restaurant if the ID is valid and when the ID expires. Blackson says he's now cautiously optimistic this will ensure Skimo's passes all future stings.
This weekend I had a 42-year-old and a 25-year-old. The 25-year-old looked like he was 18. I carded him, I put it in the machine, and then I turned around and I looked and I walked back and I'm like, you sure this is your ID? I mean, I'm scared to death to be able to, and the rest of the staff, they're scared. They're afraid they're going to get in trouble or they're going to have to go through the process.
A process that has this small business owner worried that an honest mistake might cost him his business. Now, the Shelby County Sheriff's DUI squad initially agreed to be interviewed for this story, but later declined As for Blackston, he goes before the beer board on Thursday. He'll plead his case and hope that the beer board members will consider his reputation and the steps that he's taken to make sure no kids are being served illegally at Skimo. Blackston says he's now cautiously optimistic this will ensure Skimo's passes all future stings. Freeman, Fox 13 News, I-Team.